Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special bonus episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. I am one of your hosts. Zach Wilde meets Jared Dines meets Burger King, Mr. Levi Clay. No, obviously it's different because I've got hair under here, so ooh, shade, throwing a bit of shade. We're going to talk about Jared today, actually, so that's cool.
Yep.
And my good friend, Mr. Mike McLaughlin. How's it going, man?
Very good, thank you. Quite tired, as you are the same.
Yeah, you've just got back from. I'm so tired I forgot Cyprus. Of course, you were in Cyprus. Yeah.
Flew from Cyprus to Birmingham, drove home from Birmingham. I'm not saying that I was speeding, but I certainly took an hour off, and have not been to bed yet. I got a 2-hour nap, so I am running purely on caffeine and excitement.
Like a champion.
Exactly. What about yourself, mate? How are you?
Yeah, just been working on the studio. If I take this hat off, like my hair, I'm covered in dust. Like that's the thing about me right now. I'm just covered head to toe. Part of me enjoys it because my wife wants me to go grey. So I've been using this jigsaw and spitting all this white dust everywhere, and I come into the house and like my hair and my beard are just full of white dust, and it genuinely looks like I've gone grey.
Get a bit of salt and pepper.
You look fantastic.
Yes. Funny you say that. I've discovered my first white hair in my beard down here somewhere.
Oh, I've had a few now,
but that's the first one I've seen. And you know what? I had exactly the same thought. I'm like, yes, salt and pepper. I'll at least look a bit more handsome than having black / brown hair and a big red beard.
Yep. Yeah.
Fuck it. Oh
well. But aside from that, yeah, I've been excited because I mean, you can actually, for anyone that's, this is one of those shows where if you are listening, I would encourage you to go to YouTube and watch it because we are going to be showing off some new guitars, and I'm actually going to cut away to an unboxing video in the video version that won't be on the audio version, so that would be worth checking out. But yeah. This podcast is brought to you by our good friends over at Ormsby Guitars. Our new Ormsbys have shown up today. Well, actually, they've been here for a while.
Yeah.
I've just not unboxed them, but today we unboxed them.
This lad has the patience of a saint.
It's like everybody has said that. Like I don't know how you're able to do it, but because I'm so busy with the studio, and I've been I was out a lot of the weekend doing things. It's actually very easy. There was one day where I was sat in the house and I had nothing to do. Because I wasn't working in there, I was just tired, and I was like,
staring at the boxes.
I could just open them though, couldn't I? But yeah, as soon as you're busy with stuff, like it just doesn't really matter. So yeah, Ormsby Guitars out of Australia. My new Goliath 7-string in Red Dead finish.
How many of those are going about, Levi?
This is a one of a kind. This is a true one of a kind. Because, so I've talked about the Red Dead finish on the podcast quite a lot, because as soon as they announced the Red Dead hype machines, I was just in love with them. I thought they were absolutely beautiful. So I sent Perry a message and said, mate, you've done it. I love the Red Dead finish. It's awesome. I'm going to buy one. As soon as you do a Red Dead Goliath, let me know. I'll order one of those. And he said, I can do you a Red Dead Goliath if you really want. And I'm like, oh boy, oh baby, yes, that's exactly what I want. So this is my 7-string Red Dead Goliath with maple fretboard. The thing about the Goliaths, I'm always talking about this on...
Don't drop it in day one, man.
I just don't think it's possible to drop it. Like, you know what I mean?
Famous last one.
You could catch it with your toe and it'll be...
You won't break the headstock off. You've got that going for you.
Yeah. So just unbelievably lightweight because it's chambered. And I assume they chamber this and fill it with helium because it really does. It just doesn't weigh anything. Yeah. Obviously it's got 7 strings, so I need to remember how to play metal or learn how to play metal.
He'll just play some jazz on it.
I will. Yeah, that'll just be me.
But that's cool.
Yeah, all over my next country project. So, but I should probably turn the hat around as well, shouldn't I? This sucking on that corporate teat. No hats fit my head, man. Like, look at this. I've squashed this down. It's really sitting on top of my head, and it's on the biggest setting. No one wears hats on that setting. It's but yeah, cool. How about you? Where's yours?
Well, I'm going to move the microphone away just so all these beautiful people can see this.
Yeah. So for those listening, Mike is turning around and he is... So what's this?
This is a Metal X in Dragon Burst, which is the purple into blue with the faux maple binding.
Yep.
Oh, look at it. Gorgeous black hardware, ebony neck, maple on the back.
Yeah.
I got a 6-string version.
Because you're obsessed with 6 strings.
Because, yes.
Even though your band plays in B.
Yes, but so I'm in love with it, man. It's so well balanced, so comfortable.
It's also very lightweight. I was very surprised. Picked it up out of the box, and it's got that lightweight feel to it, which is
Likewise, I'm really very excited to hear these pickups and be able to compare them to the. I don't think they can hear me really, to be honest, can they?
Yeah, but you can move your mic over.
I know. I just realised mid-sentence. Is that better? I hope so. Yeah, I'm saying I'm really excited to try out these new pickups. To compare them with the Nunchucker and De La Creme that are in my Goliath and my other hype. These seem to be a bit hotter. We've only had them plugged in for a couple of minutes each, really, haven't we?
Yeah.
Try them out. But,
we're both too tired to actually play guitar. So instead we just choose to sit and talk about guitar.
Yeah. We played a couple of riffs each and went, we'll play more guitar soon.
Yeah. So for those that really want to experience that unboxing thing with us, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to cut to that now. But if you are listening, don't worry, we're going to talk about some things. Not too long a show today. But anyway, enjoy the unboxing for those that are about to watch it. And for those of you that aren't, let's talk about...
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. After much waiting and great patience from Levi and I, these two beautiful creatures have arrived, just in perfect time for me to go on holiday, and for Levi to test his own strength and might. Delayed them being delivered. He still had them for a few days. Both of these remain virginal. So this beautiful, gorgeous filly here on my right is Levi's new guitar, although it feels like there's nothing in the box.
Yeah.
Which I know because, as Levi said, when I got mine, it was much the same. And this big, curvy sweetheart here, watch paint, sorry.
Watch Ursula.
Is well, we'll see in a minute.
Let's find out.
Let's find out indeed.
Cool.
So, big thanks to Perry and the team for getting the guitars out to us. Pardon me. Looks like a total crazy nutter sitting here with a knife. As I feel like a tweaker as is.
Yep.
For context, Levi's been very, very busy working in his garage, and I have spent 2 days travelling from Cyprus to Birmingham to drive back home, and I've not been to bed yet apart from 2 hours. So, if anything seems completely mental or nonsensical, it's because both of us are pretty tired. But it's still an exciting moment for both of us. Even the case is getting me excited. Levi.
What could be inside?
Surprise, it's nothing! Nah, does that very much. Are we ready?
I bumped into your brother in the caddy, and
Really?
I was going to drop your guitar off to him.
I even said to Kieran it could if you wanted. Like I said to you could ultimate, but you were both so beautiful and kind that you thought, nah, I'll let the big man get his moment. Are we ready? Oh! It's like, you remember the first time you unclasped a bra?
Yeah.
You get so good at it you can do it with one hand. I still can't. You ready? Oh, and your presents there.
Oh, we've got some prezzies.
So this is the cleaning kit, the care kit. You've got the best cleaning, speed wax, and it's spotless polish.
And you've got a hat. Put the hat on. Put the hat on. Before people see the body. Oh, there's 2 hats. Well, I've got bad news for you, Perry. No one's ever made a hat that fits my head.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge failed.
I'm so glad I got another hat because my last one I wore it so much that I sweated through it. And it's off coloured for the bottom end of it. So, yes.
It's on my head.
Look at this, man. Oh my goodness. Oh. Tell them I've got pipes and man. Just as well, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Look at that headstock, man. Oh.
Alright, pick it up.
Go on, I need to get a pipes from first.
I don't need to play it.
Yes, I do. Even just to see if it's in tune. Oh. That's really, really well balanced as well. Oh yes. Really not too bad considering. Look at how much content Where's most guitars? Beautiful, man.
See that neck joint? Clean as a whistle, man. Clean as a whistle. That was beautiful.
And anyone who's watching, please leave an F in the comments for Brian. Brian dropped his V and took a big chip out of it recently.
Oh.
And he looked heartbroken, so big F to you, Brian. Sorry, bro. Oh my goodness.
Alright, my turn.
Oh, wait, let's see what else is in the case. There might be something else. You never know. Oh my goodness!
Straps and t-shirts!
So Perry was kind enough to throw us in some goodies, and I got us the cleaning kits. So let's see. T-shirts on that. We done not bad, eh? Not too bad at all.
Let's do it. And proof that this wasn't open, I didn't tape it back up because it's stapled shut.
Mine was also the same, my man. Obviously, we had decided to re-staple it.
It's obviously a lie. I just went out and bought a staple gun.
Well, you done well. You convinced me. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Because you know what? I'd be excited if I was getting what you've got. That's for sure.
They've sent me a violin.
Yay!
That's small, isn't it?
It's funny that. I wonder.
Let's see if I got any case candy like you.
Case candies for both of us, you numb nuts.
There's a CD.
Nice. Green greens. Sweet.
Ah, you didn't get a CD.
No, I didn't. You're right. I thought we were friends, Perry and Beto. I thought you were going to give us all the goodies. Oh, wait a minute. Step back.
This is my one of a kind. There isn't one of these, is there?
No, there is not. Well, there is only one, you mean?
Well, yeah, okay. There is one of these.
Only one.
There isn't another one.
Oh.
There we go.
Wow,
It's just so unbelievably lightweight. You can't
I remember having that. It's not an anxiety, but it's kind of like a. Is it there? Like it might not be in the
It
case.
just doesn't weigh anything. I can't believe how lightweight it is.
It might end up flying away if you keep doing that.
I know.
Caught in a gust.
The first thing you think when you hold this is the neck heavier than the body? I just cannot get over how lightweight the Goliath is. Yeah.
It suits you so much, big man. Suits you so much.
Get some down there.
Let's do it. That flame's beautiful, especially there. Just catching the light. Just keep moving. Oh, baby. I hate to admit it, but I'm incredibly jealous.
Welcome to the Ormsby family. Levi.
Plain Jane from the back. No one needs to see the backside.
Nah. Still gorgeous.
It's all about that booty.
All about that bass, no treble.
Thanks for that. I like it because you can have it like that and it's in tune.
Yeah. That's one thing about the Goliath, they just stay in tune forever.
Or my preferred method of sitting with them like that.
Also incredibly comfortable.
Yep, happy with that. They're happy with that.
Do you think we should maybe plug them in and make a better racket?
Let's see what they sound like. The Faceless.
Big Michael Keane.
So I almost didn't want to talk about this.
I know.
Just because we're talking about a few bands that we've talked about time and time again on the podcast today.
Recurring Themes Day.
And it ties me. In fact, before we even do the Faceless, Jared Threaten. He's back.
With quite the ego still.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, doing an anniversary gig in it's in London, isn't it? A year since everything began. Dude, not only is it a year since everything began, it's a year since you've done anything. Who's in the band? Like, who the fuck took that gig?
Who's going to buy tickets?
It will certainly be a bigger turnout than the original gig, won't it? So
I saw photos from when they played at Rebellion in Manchester. I think we saw them together actually, and it was essentially a big stage and maybe one person in front of it. Not good.
We also got feedback actually. I forgot to mention this on the last show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did send it to you. Mr. Al Moomin. Al Moomin left a wee comment on there, doing his usual talking in riddles bullshit.
Was that on our video?
Yeah.
I thought you just screenshot that randomly.
That was on our video. That was on our video.
Okay.
I'm like, motherfucker, what is actually wrong with you? Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? Stop talking in riddles. No one likes you. I'm like, dude, what you're doing right now in your career is you're trying to be funny. You're trying to be like a meta comedian. But the difference between someone like yourself and David Brent or This Is Spinal Tap or one of the many mockumentaries there's a really good one, Going for Goldeneye. Have you seen that?
I have not.
That's an excellent mockumentary on the faux competitive gaming scene around the game GoldenEye
Right.
and the World Championships for GoldenEye, and it's very funny and it's presented like a very serious thing, and the type of characters that would devote themselves to that.
Yes.
But the problem with Al Moomin is versus those guys is those guys made it clear from day one, we're here to make you laugh.
It's satire.
Al Moomin has tried to be serious for so long, and now he's trying very hard to be like, oh, I'm all about the memes, guys. It's like, dude, people are laughing, but we're not laughing with you. We're not.
I want to like him, but so far there have been no redeeming qualities shown, and I feel bad saying that because.
Well, there have been redeeming qualities. Like he's a good composer.
I don't mean that as in like there's nothing good about him as a musician. I'm not saying that, but like his public interactions leave a lot to be desired in terms of what you think his intentions are and how he's being actually honest.
Yeah.
I don't buy it so far, and it's a shame. Like I said, like we are the Guitar Souls. We relentlessly shit on anything that we don't see as being right, and we get shit on back, and we'll take that right in the chin.
Fine with that.
Absolutely, more than happy to do it. That's how everybody gets or progresses. We need to find middle grounds for things, but just as you said, like talking in riddles and not really addressing points, and just
people misunderstand something about us. Like part of what we do here on the show is character driven. We are amping up who we are.
Yeah,
the way we are on the show isn't quite representative of how we are when the cameras are off.
Less nuanced.
Yeah, our sole goal behind this podcast is simply to make people laugh.
Yes.
We just want people to enjoy themselves. So when people get really shitty with us, I'm like, I'm not talking to you, you guitar arsehole. That actually was said to me recently. And
Fantastic.
I'm like, is that you trying to have some sort of dig at me? Like I didn't know that arsehole is in our name. That was the point, motherfucker.
That's why it's capitalised in mid-word. Jesus.
We go out of our way to be arseholes to make people laugh. Al Moomin is he's not being an arsehole, but yeah, he's being that meta comedy that, I am the punchline thing, to try and make people laugh. But dude, it's too little too late.
Yeah.
You can't spend your lifetime trying to be taken seriously and now be like, oh no, it was all a joke. You are going to put yourself in that category with Jared Threaten. That's where he's gonna end up. And if you continue to put on gigs where you think that you're going to be the singer, you'll probably have the same turnout as Jared Threaten. So yeah.
And to risk sounding ignorant, I lasted about 13 seconds into that video with him saying why I decided to become the singer of Heart Machine. I watched the whole thing. Don't try and sing Chris Cornell. That's not just a go at you, Al. Just no one do it because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
No one is Chris Cornell, or was rather, than Chris Cornell. Let's just draw a line in the sand and move on. Thanks.
There's a clip in there of him singing some Monuments. Yeah, of course. And I sent it to Brown, and he was like, oh, "Dude, I've been sent this like 30 times today." And I was like, "Bet you regret moving so hastily to replace your singer now, don't you?"
Speaking of Brown, I sent my message actually when I was going back on holiday. He put a post on Instagram about buying a H&K Warp.
Yes.
And there was one on eBay for like 250 quid. So I sent it to him like, you need to buy this. Like if you're buying these cheap, that is as cheap as it's going to get. And I go, thanks, my mate actually bought it. Yes, mate, good.
Brown messaged me and sent me, I didn't know he'd bought that amp, but he sent me a picture saying, dude, you need to see the packaging this amp was just sent in.
I saw it.
Okay, did he post it publicly? Yeah.
So essentially it was a bit of cardboard where they'd actually cut the handle out.
Cut the handle out of it,
So fucking bad. Something that's got very easily breakable parts.
Yeah, that's definitely a bold way to transport. Anyway, what's the story with the Faceless?
So there have been stories essentially from a few days ago. This is reported on Metal Sucks. I know we mentioned Metal Sucks quite a bit, even though it's shitty site. But at the same time,
I like their name because metal sucks.
Aye, okay. So we'll give them credit.
The worst thing about metal is metalheads.
Yes. Yeah. So this is quite ambiguous, to be fair. Michael Keane has basically said that he's working on 2 separate releases for the new Faceless stuff. And the reason I want to bring it up is I'd love this to be a happy ending story. I'd love for this to be 2 releases come out. They don't sound like I'm becoming a ghost, and they are good because nod your head all you want, right? For what I've heard, when Michael Keane is sober and things are going well for him and things are good, they are ridiculously tight. Even now, right? As a musician, the guy can write. He's a fantastic composer. You can't deny that.
Sure.
And he is a great player. He writes and plays some cool as fuck riffs. The picture for that article there on Metal Sucks, actually, that was his kind of neon green washburn that was, I lusted for one of them for so long, man. It's such a cool guitar. Anyway, I just really, really want to see a happy ending for this. I want for Michael Keane to release some really good Faceless music. I'm not holding out much hope, but I'm hoping for it.
Michael Keane can't work on new Faceless material until Michael Keane works on Michael Keane.
But he might have done, we don't know.
He may have done, yeah. But is that not, has that not been the problem with both Michael Keane and numerous other people that we talk about on the show?
Of course it is.
Yeah, we have to go not just with what we hope, but also what we expect based on the many chances.
We're critically rational.
Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on me. Yeah, that's how that goes, isn't it? Shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Are you kidding on your George Bush?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, we'll go back to your point about people maybe misunderstanding the characters that we play in the context of things that we're saying. Like, we're not out to offend them, they'll be assholes. Like, intentionally just being contrary. Like, I'm sure you would like to see good happen for Michael Keane as much as I would.
Oh, absolutely.
You're just a bit more sceptical that it will happen.
Sure.
And that's fair.
I'd be this is one of those situations, as with a lot of things on the show, where I would be very, very, very happy to be proved wrong. Happy to eat humble pie on this one.
I think that is the best mentality that we can put forward for both of us. As I said when all the stuff happened with Charles Caswell, prove me wrong, you'll make me even happier. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to see people going, fuck, you can do that.
Yeah.
To get sidetracked away. But prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Make me happy.
Just as you know, I have a lot of experience growing up around junkies, and junkies don't change. They don't change. So, but wish him the best. Hopefully that pans out for him.
Definitely.
How much of this Steel Panther thing, Steel Panther and Motley Crue beef, have you seen?
I read the one that you linked. I've not seen the secondary one that you've clicked on as well. Right. So it's just, I love that this is like almost like a long saga that's only now really coming to head.
Before it even becomes an issue, when I saw this headline, Nikki Sixx calls Steel Panther assholes and backstabbers for recent Vince Neil remark. Now I remember when the Vince Neil remark was made, and I laughed at it because it seemed funny to me.
Funny.
Because Steel Panther they are a band, but they are comedians as well. Like their job, they're very much like us. Their only goal is to make you laugh. If you enjoy the music, awesome. But so when I've been working in the studio, having Tom out there after having Car Bomb on, I just put Steel Panther on, right? And
so he has to listen to something that makes no sense to musically, and then something that could be considered grossly offensive if you don't get the joke.
But that's exactly it. So a song would be on, and then he'd stop me and be like, Did he just say? And I'm like, yeah, he did.
GOLDDIGGING WHOR.
I've got everything you need. I've got everything you want. I've got everything you need. 5.5 inches of love. Like,
fantastic.
Yeah. So that's the point. Like with comedy music, like it's all about a punchline, right? And
you think of even the origins of them. They started off as a band working the Sunset Strip. Clearly, is meant to be like an act plus talented musicians, and they've been lucky enough, talented enough as well, and they worked hard enough to turn that into a musical career as well. Brilliant.
They weren't just an act. They were literally an 80s cover band called Metal School.
There you go.
Which then went into originals and Steel Panther. So when I saw the comments on Vince Neil, and essentially someone asked Michael Starr in an interview if there was one singer you could bring back from the dead, who would it be? And he said Vince Neil. Now, so many ways you could take that, unless he goes down the route of he may have actually done this, but unless he specifies, because Vince Neil might as well be dead now, because Vince Neil sounds like garbage now or whatever. I think he's just being 80s about things, and just Vince Neil's the greatest singer of all time because we're a silly 80s band and we like the idea of Vince Neil. Just bring Vince Neil back.
You had it right to start with, because he said something like, I think one of the other one the member said something like, he's not dead, and he's like, we should bring old Vince Neil back because that motherfucker is dead.
Yes.
Or something really just
clearly
tongue-in-cheek and stupid and not meant to be a serious dig at anyone.
But
I'm sure if they were going to make a dig at anyone being like a shadow of their former self, they would have said Mick Mars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the guy can still play guitar, but he is essentially not able to do anything else.
Yes.
So anyway, continue.
Yeah. My gut instinct though was, this is not the type of thing, like Motley Crue should know the deal. They've been in the industry now for how long? Too long? They should know how this works. The last thing you want to do is get into a back and forward fight with another band in the press.
Even more so a band who thrive on negative press.
Yeah.
Remember the Pussy Melted debacle?
Yeah.
Everything they do is fueled by faux controversy. They love it. That is their fucking bread and butter.
Yeah.
So for someone to be like, I don't like the comment you made, they're just like, fucking yes, we've got a fucking bite in the line.
Yeah. So essentially the story sort of really started to kick off when Nikki Sixx called Steel Panther assholes and backstabbers for their recent Vince Neil. So let me read this. Nikki Sixx has commented on Steel Panther singer Michael Starr's recent remark about Vince Neil. As reported during an interview with Little Punk People, Michael replied when asked to name a musician that he'd bring back from the dead, that he'd bring back Vince Neil. When Styx Zadina turned around and said, he's not dead, Michael continued and said, I'd bring back the Vince Neil from back in the day because that guy is dead. It's funny, right? That's funny.
Of course that's stupid.
And the thing that tells you this is funny is it wasn't the interviewer that had to say, but Vince Neil's dead. Michael Starr made the comment and then their drummer turns around and says, but he's not dead. It gives you that opportunity to extend the joke. So Nikki Sixx writes on Twitter, the singer in Steel Panther can go fuck himself. Wannabe band putting down Vince Neil.
He also spelt steel wrong.
Yes, he did. Though to be fair, they've also put an umlaut on fuck, so I imagine there's a little bit of punnery going on there because he that's why this has happened, because Nikki Sixx is raging about the fact that Steel Panther are just doing the Steel Panther wouldn't hide this. They love Motley Crue, and a huge part of what they do is bringing that thing back.
I think the sting in it as well might be, everybody's seen the recent videos of Vince Neil singing, and they are terrible.
Yep.
Right? Could well be a one-off. He's well known for being a great vocalist, great front man. It's not as if Motley Crue are an unknown band.
Sure.
But maybe he just really took it in the chin, because it's like the insult to injury.
Yeah.
After everything's been happening with that becoming a bit of a meme.
Yep.
Right. So maybe that's another context to look at.
So after a fan wrote, I don't get why they say that, the Steel Panther singer, seeing them play Crue songs live all the time, I've seen them play with Vince Neil live on stage.
Yep.
Nikki Sixx responded with, that's why they are arseholes and backstabbers. Now, the article that we're reading here goes on to give a little bit of detail from the past.
Yes.
Because in a previous interview, Satchel had said, and here's a quote, there are bands that hate our guts. We did a tour a few years ago with Def Leppard and Motley Crue. Def Leppard, they got us on the tour. It was an arena tour in the UK and they loved us. They were so nice and so cool. And Motley Crue hated us.
Yep.
They wanted to kill us. Every night they wanted to kill us. They talked to us like once the whole tour. And Tommy Lee and I, well, we just butted heads a lot because Tommy Lee, I don't know why he hates us so much. Listen, I extended the olive branch. I wanted to be friends with them. I think some people feel threatened because I think maybe Tommy Lee feels like we're poking fun at him personally, but we're just having fun. We love heavy metal. We think it's pretty obvious to people that people that like Steel Panther, we're good at playing it because we've been playing it our whole lives. And if we were just out to make fun of heavy metal players, then we probably wouldn't be as good at playing it and writing the songs. We just love what we do. And someday, maybe Motley Crue will be our friends, but I think Tommy Lee would love it if one of us got hit by a bus. So this is funny in itself, right? Nikki Sixx firing back. You don't do it. Nikki, you are a legend of the metal scene. Of course you're a legend of the metal scene. I love Motley Crue's The Dirt, and I love his book, The Heroin Diaries, right?
Still not watched.
Yeah, you have to.
I know, I need to get my finger out. I've got lots of things I need to watch.
You're super busy. You're always busy. But, dude, you're a musician, you're a rock star, you're a businessman, you're not a comedian. And you do not want to heckle guys that do this for a living.
Don't feed the trolls.
So
go back to the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Do not feed the trolls. Just don't do it.
So, the latest in this saga, Steel Panther takes another jab at Motley Crue. Hey Siri, what's backstabbing? Right. So, Steel Panther posted on their Twitter, hey Siri, what's backstabbing? Siri's response, and then they just posted a video to an old documentary when Vince Neil had been booted out of Motley Crue, where everyone in the band is laughing about Vince Neil being a 300-pound fat blubber man.
Oh.
So I'll play the clip just so anyone that's listening can hear it. And do that.
But did they care when their former bandmates sustained several broken ribs and internal injuries while jet skiing a few weeks ago?
My heart goes out to you. That's all I got. What happened to the coral reef?
Oh, man. Hey, when 300 pounds of blubber land on a coral reef, you know there was some dust flying around.
You're invited, but I weigh a ton.
Oh, okay, here we go. Great. Now you know that's going to be rough.
There is nothing worse than making shitty comments at people who are clearly just having a laugh to then have that turn right back round on you. That man's head is entirely made of egg now.
Yeah.
Not just a wee bit of egg on his face. He is Humpty Dumpty.
The old people in glass houses adage is so unbelievably perfect here. It never even occurred to me, but yeah, fucking hell, shitting on Vince Neil. You had a long history of shitting on Vince Neil, and you shat on your fans when you replaced Vince Neil with John Corabi in your band. So before eventually realizing that Vince Neil was the way to go. So yeah, oh dear. So place your bets. Do you think Nikki Sixx is going to be able to let this die, or is his ego too unbelievably massive that he will have to fire back?
You and I get a cease and desist. I can see it happening. Don't ever talk about me again.
It can just go with my collection of them. It's absolutely
Let's start framing them behind us.
Fine, yeah. I actually do have a pile that I do intend to have framed and put in the new studio. So.
Why don't we just wallpaper it with all the letters you get for lawyers? But the only one we need to frame is the one we're going to get. You're going to get from Lance when it eventually lands. You know, eventually.
Eventually. One of these fucking days.
Speaking of having a jib at someone and it flying right back in your fucking face.
So I've not even heard this song. We're talking about Machine Head and Dope. Have you heard Machine Head's new song?
No. And you know what? I don't want to hear it because the last tune they released before that was literally just the riff from Strap Young Lad. Love. It was like, have you heard it?
I've not. No, I've not listened to Machine Head in years.
Right. So Strap Young Lad.
I don't think anyone's listened to Machine Head in years.
Strap Young Lad riff literally goes.
Yeah, I know that riff.
Right?
I know that riff, yeah.
So the Machine Head riff goes. Like it's exactly the same riff. I'm not saying there's any variance to it at all. It is the same fucking riff.
This actually kind of half ties in with some of the stuff we talked about previously on the show. We talked about Phil Anselmo and the accusations that were levied against Phil Anselmo.
Yes.
Well, you remember who levied those accusations?
Yeah, one of the main voices in that whole thing. Yep, that was Rob Flynn.
Yes.
Just like getting his claws in, like the dying grasps of a man, just not ready to let go of reality that no one cares about him anymore.
So this is really interesting to me because we had the follow-up where I talked to you about it and I said, okay, well, I've seen counter narratives to this Phil Anselmo being a racist thing and even getting apologies from notable black YouTubers when they'd done more research. And that, even when I heard these people sort of giving their feedback and apologising to Phil Anselmo, it still left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth because in doing that, I want to turn around to them and say, cool, but then what you're doing is you're completely discarding everything Rob Flynn said. All of the claims that Rob Flynn has made about this.
Claims. Good choice of words.
Yeah, and now I'm starting to see that, right? Because it was Rob Flynn that really started to kickstart that whole there's a racism problem in metal. And now I have to look at that and I'm like, is that because really what you need is attention? Because actually when you read the shit that's been going down with Dope, you know what insults Rob Flynn absolutely loves? Loves calling people cocksuckers. Absolutely loves it.
Incredibly homophobic.
Yeah.
Good
So
on.
there may or may not be a racism problem in metal, but there's certainly a homophobia problem with Rob Flynn.
In metal in general, I think you're right, but yeah, with Rob Flynn directly in this example.
Yeah.
100%.
So I don't know the band Dope because I've been off the metal scene for a very long time.
I don't mean this in any disregarding way, right? But I haven't heard a lot about them since, honestly, 2000s, if we're going back again to talking about like the Do Not Feed the Trolls thing. I think I remember hearing Die Motherfucker Die. It's obviously the most famous song. And I remember hearing it on one of the videos on like stickdeath.com or something. So that goes to show how old that is.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking like fucking 2003, 2004.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm not saying they haven't done anything since then.
No.
They haven't had as much exposure that I've seen since then. I don't really follow the band. Maybe I'm getting the wrong end of the stick.
Yes. But what we're saying is many, many years ago, they had a hit with the song Die Motherfucker Die.
Yes.
And now Machine Head's latest song, the chorus in that repeats Die Motherfucker Die, Die Motherfucker Die. Which, all right, Rob, we get it, you're edgy. What we're getting at this from this is as soon as that happened, everyone's like, oh, it reminds me of Dope. And it wasn't one or two people. It was tens of thousands of people all hurling this at Rob Flynn. And he got really, really, really annoyed.
Rob Flynn got annoyed and said things on the internet.
Yeah.
Perished the thought.
Such magical things as, I really enjoyed this one, posting on Instagram with him standing with a fan that he met at a meet and greet.
Who paid money to speak to him.
I know. Wearing a Dope shirt. And Rob says, this was funny. Today's meet and greet, I asked her to name a Dope song. She couldn't. Like, what? So? So what? What's wrong with you, Rob? Now, we're going to get to Dope's incredible put down. But even if...
It's not even a put down, it's actually a really...
Oh, it's well reasoned, yeah.
An incredibly eloquent reply to a shitty, stupid comment.
Yes.
It's the equivalent of somebody writing like a decent response to the initial comment being someone slaving on a page. I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like one in crayon and one in a fountain pen.
Yep. But when you really get to the crux of what Rob's issue seems to be, aside from, people saying you're irrelevant, the accusation he's trying to throw at Dope is that no one knows who you are, that you're irrelevant. You had one song. But even if that was the case, even if you just had one hit that millions of people enjoyed, like, does that suddenly make you irrelevant? Like Smash Mouth. Did they have? Oh, I'm sure they probably did have more songs than more than one hit song.
Do the other songs matter?
Or Wheatus.
They had
a couple of songs, but
maybe Teenage Dirtbag was like the only song of theirs that I can remember that was big, and then their cover of Little Respect.
Yep.
But that's not their song.
Alien Ant Farm.
Smooth Criminal was obviously their big one, and then it was Movies.
Movies was a good song, but
just going to say that Anthology is an absolute belter.
I agree with you. Absolutely agree with you.
Belter. Sorry, just to distract
if you may remember this, we were going to go see them in Glasgow.
And it was like 2 members were the actual original members.
The bass player, the original bass player, wasn't in the band, and I'm like, cool, not interested. Just trying to insinuate that because a band had a hit song and that's the song that everyone knows them for, that they're somehow bad.
If you haven't been lucky enough to be successful like me, your points are invalid and you don't matter. That is some entitled bullshit.
It also, like, even before you read Dope's response to this, you're like, are you just annoyed that you haven't had a big hit like Die Motherfucker Die? Because I'm not going to turn around and say Machine Head are known for just that one hit song. No. Because they don't have any hit songs. They've got a bunch of songs that I really like. Like when I was growing up, I remember hearing Davidian for the first time and being like, this is cool. And Imperium, which was the one
Imperium's
that really
like a riff factory, to be fair.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, I don't. When you say Machine Head to me, like, what's Machine Head's big hit? So, should we read Dope's response?
Yes. So, I'm happy to read it if you want to have a little break.
No one understands you, Mike.
Oh.
But no, you're a bit of... Be my guest. Go on. Can you see it okay?
I'm going to read it in my strongest Scottish accent just to spite you and the listeners.
Go on, do it.
So, obviously, Rob's comments were, who the fuck listens to Dope? And Dope eloquently and beautifully destroyed what he had to say by posting this. Yesterday, Rob Flynn took to Instagram to publicly ask the question, who the fuck listens to Dope? Then today, he fired another shot at our band by posting a photo of himself posing with a fan who was wearing a Dope shirt with an unflattering caption. As a grown-ass man, I feel slightly obligated to acknowledge these two separate shots. Truth is, I like Machine Head. Killer band, big fucking draw. If the two bands ever share the stage again, Dope would undoubtedly go on before Machine Head. Much respect. That's not the question. The question was, who the fuck listens to Dope? Well, Rob, with Spotify being the place where the majority of the listeners go these days, the answer to your question is actually quantifiable. So this is where he's loading the double barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
This is him just like putting the shell
slowly.
Like just so calm and just not giving a fuck.
Looking at the shell, blowing some dust off it.
Exactly. Like you can imagine some really cool ass actor doing it, just ready to get a fucking Grammy for it. Check it out. Dope monthly listeners on Spotify, 1,238,355. Machine Head monthly listeners on Spotify, 1,208,667.
For those that missed those numbers, Dope get 30,000 more listens on Spotify each month than Machine Head.
Pretty fucking close, brother. So that's a very good acknowledgement of saying, well, not too far off, so there's plenty of people listening to us. It continues. Only about 30,000 plays separate our two bands from month to month. So it's quite fair to say that a lot of motherfuckers, in inverted brackets, are listening to both Machine Head and Dope on Spotify. Slightly more for Dope, but I digress.
That last part is just like unnecessary but perfect.
It's like you're just watching someone push a knife into someone else so slow, and that's just when he twists it at the end, just that little, oh, you won't like this. I guess it would also, to be fair, to mention that the Dope song that everyone, including Rob, is now talking about, Die Motherfucker Die, has about 30 million more plays on Spotify than any song that Rob has actually written or released. I'm not talking shit. That's not who I am. I really don't have anything negative to say about Rob. These are just the facts. We never said that the new Machine Head song was derivative of Dope's Die Motherfucker Die. Actually, we never said shit. I don't own the phrase Die Motherfucker Die. It's a commonly used arrangement of ignorant words that will continue to be recycled for years to come. Have at it, bro. In the end, I can't help that people associate phrase with Dope. Dope's Die Motherfucker Die has been around for almost 20 years and it's racked up more than 80 million plays on Spotify. 60 million plays on Spotify. The US military adopted the song into training and tactical drills, so any soldier under the age of 40 is familiar with our jam, especially if they served in Iraq. It is what it is, and Dope certainly didn't instigate this nonsense. Dope is on tour, in Vienna, and we weren't even aware that Machine Head had put out a new song until my phone started blowing up from people sharing Rob's Instagram rant, which unmistakably and unnecessarily singled Dope out at the end. I wasn't even going to address it. Then he came at us again today. It's just silly. I've always had respect for Rob. He's a prolific artist and he says what he feels. I respect that. However, I'm not really sure what he hoped to accomplish by calling out Dope, not once, but twice in the last couple of days. In closing, I hope that I've answered this question, and I further hope that we've heard the last of this die motherfucker die high school drama. Edsel Dope. #respect. That's like a fucking essay.
Yeah.
Just...
The one thing in there that he didn't say that I wished he'd said, but in doing so you'd have to disavow your own song to do it, would be to make a comment about saying, because he did say it's a group of ignorant words put together, that people are going to recycle for years and years to come. If at that point he'd said something along the lines of, I'm way beyond in my life using such ignorant phrases, Rob, but you carry on. Cocksucker. Yeah.
I actually like that he didn't go down that route. I think he stayed very, not neutral, but dignified.
Yes.
Just being like, why are you getting hit up over comments that we didn't make and targeting us?
Sure. It's put down of the century. It really is put down of the century.
There's nothing that Rob could reply to that in any shitty way without just looking like a total dick. Because there's nothing in that that's malicious or bad or name calling. Like, the very last line is #respect. He says multiple times that he respects Machine Head, Rob Flynn directly, his music, his contribution to metal, and then he's like, why is this guy slinging shit?
Yeah.
Just for the record, while he is slinging shit, here's the shit right back, mate.
He could have been a bit shadier. He could have put a #die motherfucker die at the end. Because it would tie it into the entire situation, and it'd also be telling Rob to go away. But yeah, he just simply didn't need to do that. So good on him. I really enjoyed that. That was my...
Here's the kind of cherry in the cake for me as well, right? It's so dismissive that it doesn't play into Rob's ego. So rather than giving him a platform to give more shit and then be like, yes, I'm relevant again, he's kind of just been like, I don't care what you think. Here's facts. Other people.
Yeah. On Machine Head, they were doing like a farewell tour, if memory serves me right. Or like he fired all of the band, but...
Half the band left.
Right.
What do you call them? The drummer and the guitarist left. Phil Demmel, drummer.
Yep.
Guitarist. Sorry, the drummer is Dave... Brainfarts.
That's a great name, Dave Brainfarts.
I know. Apologies, Dave Brainfart, I've given you the name. That's a shame because he's a great drummer. Well, they left. I'm not sure. There was a bit of controversy around about why they left, wasn't there? And they've now got 2 new members. They've got the guitarist from Decapitated,
right?
Vogue, I think it is. The guy's name is, and I can't remember who it is that went on, or who's joined from which band to play drums, but someone else from another kind of popular touring band.
But there was, I certainly, if memory serves me correctly, I certainly remember Phil Demmel essentially coming out and saying that...
I think it was mid-tour, I think you're right.
Rob Flynn has made it very clear that Machine Head is his band. It's his thing. He's in charge. And, everyone else is just there to do their thing and to do what Rob wants. So, yeah, dude's an absolute fucking egomaniac. And
must have got business lessons off of Dave Mustaine.
Yeah. That's it. That's all we have to mention this week. Of course, we have to do the obligatory TTM update. I did post on Facebook just recently. Jason McCulloch has left TTM. Jason being one of the behind the scenes, initially a franchisee, then a distributor / dealer. Gave Lance a lot of money, and I've had a lot of beef with Jason. Not hugely public. Like, I would comment on his videos because he would talk shit about me behind closed doors, or at least where he thought was behind closed doors, not knowing that I'm relatively plugged in this industry, and a lot of the people that you consider your friends are probably my friends as well, and they've probably known me a lot longer.
Let's just go back to the point we made in the last video. If you post something on the internet, it's there forever. There is no turning back.
Yes.
Sorry, that you've made it public domain, regardless of what you think.
Yeah. So we've beefed a little bit, but I've been chatting with him, privately in the last in the last month or so. I like him a lot. He's a really nice guy. But that's the kind of people that Lance attracts, right? You're just going to bring these people in that always look to see the good in people.
And defensive of it as well.
Yeah.
And that, look, it's a human instinct. No one wants to be told they're wrong, and no one wants to admit they're wrong either, or that something's happened that basically you're wrong. No one likes to be wrong.
Sure.
Really, and that certainly not in the scenario where it's not just pride you're losing.
Yeah.
It's something material.
Yeah, and in this instance, you got a lot of these guys that, they are out a couple of $1,000s. In Jason's case, he's out more than $10,000. And when it's that sunk cause fallacy, right? You've lost it, but if I just stick around, maybe I'll be able to get it back. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll be able to walk away with this with not just my dignity, but I'll get my money back. And Jason has now sort of acknowledged that will not be the case. He has made just released a video talking about why he's left TTM, and rumor has it that there'll be another video in a couple of weeks with an expose of everything that he's seen behind the scenes. He's trying to avoid doing that because he wants some leverage with Lance to try and get his money back.
Well, I mean...
But it won't happen because Lance doesn't have any money because he's being sued.
Better than putting it public, send it to all the administrators and legal boards that are dealing with looking into Lance. And
I've encouraged that, yeah.
We'll say the alleged...
Yeah. Because at this stage, it's not even about
charges.
Jason just getting his money back. It's about him trying to make sure that more people don't spend money.
Yes.
I was actually, a guy reached out to me who is friends with one of TTM's big endorsers, right? And he was like, "What?
They don't have endorsers, they get customers."
They do actually have a couple in Europe that you would consider to be known guys, but they don't know.
Somebody Dawkin? Is that...
Oh, Don Dokken, actually, yeah, but he doesn't really play them.
With no disrespect to him, that is the ugliest guitar I've ever seen.
But this guy essentially said to me, "Look, I'm pals with the guy. I've met Lance. He seemed fine. Like, what's actually the problem?" I'm like, "Look, I don't like your pal because either he's completely ignorant to the situation, in which case he's an idiot, or he knows the situation that he's in and he doesn't care, in which case he's a piece of shit. I don't believe he's ignorant. I believe many people have told him, and he's either willfully ignored it or chooses to not engage with it. But when it's your name on the line, you have to engage." The more I got talking to this guy who was like, "Well, actually, when he made a deal with my pal, he also was gonna hook me up with a guitar as well, and that never came." And I was like, "Are you noticing something there?" And then the more we talked about it, he was like, and he did ask me about investing. And I'm like, are you starting to see a fucking pattern here?
Like, just for total clarification, I'm sure people already know this, right? But the term con man comes from confidence man.
Sure.
Which is obviously you believe in them, and therefore you are easily sold on what they have.
Yep.
Which is the con. So people are confident that Lance is going to follow through because he is a confidence man.
He's charming, and everyone says the same thing. Oh, he's very likable. Oh, he's very likable. Damn right, he's likable. That's how he's allowed to do the things he does.
I'm not comparing the two, but I'm pretty sure back in 1945, a lot of people thought Hitler was likable.
Probably not in 45. That's when he died.
Well, still up until he died. That was December 45? No, April.
No, it'd be earlier than that.
April. Sean Magnum's.
I paid attention in school enough to be able to tell you the dates of various wars, but not down to the month or the day. Years I'm fine with. Yeah. Right, cool. So let's just close this up. We are going to thank our friends over at Ormsby. And on the note of Ormsby, actually, there is something else. We'll go full circle here because I made a comment at the start of the episode about being Zakk Wylde meets Jared Dines. Unfortunately, Jared Dines' charity auction didn't go to plan.
Apparently, the 3 top bidders all said, "Lol, I was drunk. I didn't have the money. Sorry, bro," or some other nonsense bullshit comment. Yeah. Like, why did you even fucking bid? But then I also think, why would you accept bids on eBay of that value? Probably fairly conscious this is not going to sell.
Yes. It's a shame. So for those out of the loop, Jared Dines is the gentleman that got the 20 string?
19
string.
18? Pardon, 2018 I'm sure it was. 18 string.
Okay. He got a huge monstrosity made for him by Ormsby. used it in one of his gent videos, and then it's obviously just sat in a box. He auctioned it off for charity just recently, which is a nice, noble cause.
18 string. So
18 string,
the Gent 2018 was the name of the model.
Kind of, there's a little bit of Rob Chapman about the situation. To me personally, if you're going to do a good deed, do a good deed. Don't be like, oh, I was really disappointed that the auction didn't go through because I was looking forward to, getting to go into some guitar shops with some kids and get some videos of them getting their new guitars. Why? So you can get all the glory out of it. Like just do a good thing for the sake of doing a good thing. Yeah. I don't make a song and dance about all the good things I do for people when I'm.
I don't do any good things for people. That's why I don't make a song and dance about it. I'm just an asshole.
Yeah. But I do acknowledge that at the core of it, he was wanting to do a good thing, and that's good.
I'd like to think the intent for that, filming it and making a big public profile thing, is to get like Stevie T was auctioning his as well. Like, try and get more people involved. Board of going, cool. Here's something that I can sell and benefit someone else.
Yes.
I'd like to think that was the case, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I don't doubt that it came from the doing a good deed thing, and then you've got the and look at this additional little perk that there is of doing a good deed.
The terminology is mixed motive business.
Okay, I've not heard that. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yeah,
it's like having an educational product. You get to make money. Someone else gets benefit from that as well.
Yep.
Mixed motive.
Okay.
I believe is the correct term. I might be talking shit.
Oh, it makes sense. My only comment on the Jared Dines situation is, of course that was going to happen. Just of course that was going to happen. I don't know. Like, are you a Jared Dines fan?
No, I don't dislike him, but I'm not big on his content.
Or a Stevie T fan?
No,
absolutely not.
I would drown him in a puddle.
Yeah,
that's maybe a bit far, but
yeah.
I do not find his content funny or his attitude towards other players even remotely funny.
Yeah,
I think he has probably the most. I don't know. I wish he's a snake, but
the thing with people that make content like that is you find that they attract a certain audience, right? Part of you could be like, oh, it's fucking edgy teens with right-leaning political views that don't really care about people's thoughts and feelings. And you do see a lot of that. You absolutely do see a lot of that. A lot of ignorance in groups like that. Also, a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids. I've dealt with the Stevie T fan base, right? And I've not dealt with a whole lot of adults. It's been a lot of actual teenagers, young 14, 13-year-olds. What you find, Jared and Stevie, I think if you really look into your demographic, probably well over 50% of it, probably aren't old enough to get their own credit cards. So when you're trying to sell a guitar for $20,000, there's actually a much better way to do it as well. A much, much better way for him to do it. Just a fucking a $10 ticket raffle.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
$10 ticket raffle for charity, and the winner gets the guitar. Someone's going to get an amazing piece of history for $10, and it's going to make a hell of a lot more than it made on eBay.
But the people that bid $20,000 probably aren't going to pay $10. So
yeah, true.
I don't know how much that would garner, like how much.
But it would be a guaranteed sale. It would definitely go. You definitely raise money. And if you're selling a guitar like that, let's be honest, it's a guitar that he's not going to use. It's just going to sit there in a box. You can't play the thing. It's unplayable. It's a piece of art. It's a soapy. It's a comedy thing.
It's an engineering feat. More
yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So it's not something he's using. So what if it like going? Oh well, I'm not going to sell it unless it gets $20,000. Like no, it's like fucking do a raffle for it. If it only gets $5,000, awesome. That's still $5,000 that you can donate to a good cause. That's good. So that would be my advice on that. From one Ormsby to another. Should we say that? Yeah, cool. Why not? Mm-hmm. That was a bit of an offshoot on talking about the Ormsby thing because it's kind of Ormsby related. But
definitely relevant.
Yes, big thank you to Perry and the guys for our beautiful new Ormsby guitars. I would encourage you to head on over to the website, check them out. You can't get this Red Dead Goliath.
Stop robbing it in.
It's the only one. But yeah, if you want one of these Dragon Burst Metal X's, you can.
Or V.
You get one of those, or the V, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to go play my guitar. You up for doing that? Good. So until next time.
Bye, fuckers.